I appreciate movies that articulate what's actually happening in today and in reality, and being able to pull something from the past. That movie was shot in 2006. It's 2026. That was 20 years ago. It is hot, and it's not even that hot. Let me get some water before we get started. I hope you guys can see me this time, because last time it was focused on the mic because I had the mic too close to my lips. I'm at the park today, so that means I'm in public. I feel like I couldn't have picked a better time because people are now coming home and walking outside. Let's get into today's episode. Hey guys, welcome back to This is Faith the Creators Podcast. My name is Q, and today we're going to talk about three things like we always do: our creative check-in, our popular topic, and our creative wellness check-in. Now, I feel like I want to jump to the creative check-in, but I'm going to hold on. I'm a little too excited. I'm going to hold on. First, for today's episode, we are discussing a project that I worked on not over the weekend, but last week. We're also discussing, I went to go and see Devil Wears Prada 2. I seen 1 when I was younger, and that's crazy. It was back in 2006. And also, we're going to talk about how I felt when I was shooting that project. That'll be our wellness check-in. Also, if you did anything that you shot that you want to share. I know I said to do something scary, and that was me doing something scary. I haven't shot a solo project in so long, so that was essentially what I did over the week. Again, bear with me. We're in public for the first time. It is hot. I have my setup here. It is hot. But yeah, so let's get into today's episode. Thank you guys so much for being here and even taking the time to watch. I really appreciate it. Now, the creative check-in. So last week I mentioned that we should go out and do something that scares us, and that's creatively. Well, last week I shot, and I haven't shot this in so long. I was in school doing my undergrad for media studies at UCSD back in 2022, and it was post me getting out the military. Just meaning I should have graduated in 2018 if I followed the regular high school track, but I didn't. I joined the military and paused a few things. What have you, my school was free. But I shot my first solo project. It was an idea that I had called Being Black Feels Like. Now, I'm not done editing the project yet, so you may not see it yet, but it will be coming either post this podcast, maybe a week post this podcast. And it's essentially, I would say, give or take a performative piece, because I don't do any speaking for real in this project. But I wanted to make sure I was expressing what it feels like to be Black today, and I'm not a monolith of showcasing every Black person's experience, but more so what I think on a daily basis and how it's always flip-floppy. Like, I have good days, I have bad days. So that's what I shot, and I actually shot it here at this park. Let's talk about the shooting process. I did ask chat, so I wrote out what I wanted to do and how I wanted the piece to go. I'm not that good at shot lists. That's why when you have productions, like you have a big team, this person does this person does that. So that way you don't have to think of everything like in the moment. So I reached out to chat for a shot list, and it was very, very helpful. I got all the shots I needed, so now I just take it and post to edit and pull it all together and make it make sense. So the shooting process, it was hot that day, and normally I don't have my hair out, but that day I had my hair out, and my hair went from little to small just based off sweating and my roots and all that. But the shooting process was pretty simple with the shot list. Only thing I don't like when you're shooting by yourself, of course, if you shot by yourself, you constantly have to go back and look at the camera to like make sure and see and then redo. And then also you get out of the moment when you're acting, because you have to keep going back to the camera. You're not able to be present and perform whatever you're trying to say and then cut it. I have to like get my mind, okay, let me record. And then I have to be like, okay, let me go back and do what I just thought in my mind. So it's like I have to keep jumping back and forth when I'm shooting. especially something that heavy to me when I'm shooting something like that and I want it to flow and make sense. But if you shot anything yourself and just knowing about videography in general, a lot of it is like broken up. You have to be able to snap into the moment and snap out of it when the camera says cut and go and things like that. And shooting by yourself, to me, I'm not an actor like that or actress like that. It makes it that much harder. But the shot list helped me just have everything be seamless and go as, not as quickly, but it just made everything flow along versus if I just tried to remember like, oh, I want to do this, I want to do that. Okay, let me do this, let me do that. Like it just made the pieces of the puzzle come together much more quickly. And I was very, very, very appreciative of that. After I shot the piece, I was very proud of myself, very proud of myself. And I'm excited for you guys to see it if you do any kind of performative video work or anything like that. And I do a lot of stuff creatively, photography, different things like that. But this is just me trying to get back in that bag. And I also have some pieces that I actually want to release on my social medias and just critique some of my past work and things that I've done just to get better as a solo shooter. Again, it's not as simple as you think. Or simple as it looks, I'll say that. But I was very, very proud of myself. Very, very proud of myself because there was a lot of doubt of like, I don't even know what I'm doing. You look crazy. What are you doing? Like, go and freaking work, go get a job. Like, like I was just thinking what I was doing wasn't not worth it, but like I was just playing around. And while I could have been playing around, these expressions and these emotions and for me to get these things out on camera and put it together, it meant something to me. Just like any work that anyone else does, it means something to you, right? I don't know who said it. I'm an artist and I'm sensitive about my stuff, right? So after I shot that, I was just really proud of myself. I was like, wow, you did it. You did it. Now go edit. And that's the part I don't like. But I'm in the editing room right now. I'm getting everything put together. And it'll be ready when it's ready. It'll be ready when it's ready. If you have a project or anything that you worked on, like I mentioned in the last podcast, that scared you, that's something that you feel like you're not worthy or ready to do, just go do it. Get it done. And like I know, it just builds that, it builds that muscle in you to know that you can do it and to know that what you're doing isn't just anything, but it's worth something and it means something and it may speak to someone or it may not. It just may be another form of expression. And that's the whole point as artists and creators, right? To express ourselves, to get it out to the forefront. I feel like that's when a lot of my anxiety and all these other things started to come and weigh heavy on me when I didn't get it out. And now I'm learning, you have to get it out. But adulthood and society tells you, that's just hobby stuff. No one really cares because we are dealing with real life and real life issues. So sure, whatever. But when I was like in my earlier 20s, I used to be upset. I would go sing, I would write, I would photograph, I would just go on a walk and take pictures. And that was just me expressing and getting it out. It can turn into something or it could just be an outlet, whatever it has, whatever your plan is for your work, right? We all have different plans. So yeah, that's my creative check-in. I did it. I got it done. I'm proud of myself. And I can't wait for you guys to see it. And yeah, just get it done. That's all I can say. Even if it's ugly, even if you feel crazy in the moment, just get it done. Just get it done. You'll feel happy with yourself. You'll be proud of yourself. And you're just going to continue to build that muscle to know that you can do bigger and greater things. Even when I meet people to shoot with, you have that togetherness confidence when it's the two of you or three of you or four of you or however many people you film with. When it's by yourself, you got to talk to yourself. You got to pour into yourself. You got to tell yourself what I'm doing means something to me. It doesn't matter the interpretation of others or things like that, but this is what it means to me to express and to get it out and to share my thoughts and to share my experience and blah, 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 blah. I still can't decide what I want to call this segment, but let's get into our entertainment popular idea for the week. So I went to see Devil Wears Prada 2, and I really wanted to rewatch I really wanted to watch Devil Wears Prada 1 so I can recap and have a gist. I just did not have enough time, and to also get this podcast out to you guys on time, which is really important to me. I didn't have time to watch 1, but I'll put some thoughts and notes in my on my Instagram or on my YouTube page or shorts, whatever, and just compare the two. So I went to see Devil Wears Prada 2, and I'm still having this moment where I'm going to watch films, I'm critiquing films, I'm reviewing films, and sometimes it doesn't feel as tangible as it did back in the day prior to streaming services like Netflix and Hulu and all that stuff. Going to the movies just doesn't feel the same. The movie experience doesn't feel the same. You're not as locked in, right? So going to see Devil Wears Prada 2 was a good experience for me. I'm trying to find the right words. It was a good experience. I was a little shaky today about going outside and going to the movies and just going to be in my space to review and critique and enjoy at the same time. You know, life, overwhelmed, whatever. But I want to say I appreciate movies that articulate what's actually happening in today and in reality, and being able to pull something from the past. That movie was shot in 2006. It's 2026. That was 20 years ago. So to take that movie and to go and pull an idea or pull a storyline and pull it into today's reality, like amazing. So my critique of the film, of course, at first, the devil, Miranda, and I may not get the characters right. I may call Anne Hathaway Anne because I don't actually remember her name in the film. But just starting off the bat, she was definitely the devil in the beginning. This is just me venting now about the movie. She was definitely the devil in the beginning. The movie definitely took you on the script writing 101 highs and lows of the film, right? It started out, and I was a little late to the movie. It started out, Miranda did something that could potentially put the fashion magazine in jeopardy, and was called to assist in the writing process to help them build better content online as a writer. When she did that, she came in thinking she could just sweep it up real quick and like that would be it. But it was more to it than that. Then the guy who owned the actual company died. If you didn't see the movie, I'm sorry. Died and essentially put Miranda in jeopardy of losing her position. She was actually on track to receive a higher role within the company. But when the owner of the company died, his son was now in charge. The son didn't really care about the fashion magazine or the brand or anything like that. So he was about to cut everything, go straight digital AI. Like, Miranda's like, okay, my job's in jeopardy. And swooped in. It's like, okay, let's figure it out because I don't want to lose the brand. And they ended up at the end of the movie coming together and... Uh-oh. I'm outside, so the bug's talking to me. They end up in the film coming together and finding a way to make it work, to make Runway continue, to make Runway keep going, to make sure that they could sustain the company and keep the integrity of fashion being physical, tangible, art, everything within the fashion industry, to still make it real and to make it human and to make it personal and not go straight AI and like lose all of the detailing that goes into running a fashion magazine. And in the end, I'm just telling the movie and all. In the end, Miranda ended up finding, it was either, Miranda ended up finding someone to buy the company right under, how can I explain this? Because I kind of missed a step. Someone else was going to buy the company, and she used to be in the first film, and her and Anne got into it, and she ended up showing up again. She got this rich boyfriend, and he was going to buy the company and put her on the cover, but a different deal came through. Miranda ended up finding the ex-wife of that man to buy the company, and she said, you guys take it, have full reins. I appreciate the authentic storytelling. Continue on with the brand. My takeaways from the film. I hate that Miranda's personality is like that, but to be honest, that is real that is real fashion energy sometimes. Those people are stuck up as hell, and you can't get the stick out their butt. I said it. They just be feeling holier than thou. And that is my personal opinion. That has nothing to do with the film itself. But Meryl Streep definitely embodied that role. Now, some of my favorite elements of the film was that towards the end, for sure, because I started to see the story come together. Now, I could predict that because everything was going so well with the film, towards like maybe the first 30, 45 minutes, I knew that there had to be a downfall. So it was going up, and had just helped them with their first article. Everything was running smooth. Everything was going good. Miranda was about to get her promotion from the guy who owned the company. Everything was going smooth. They was having parties, all this, blah, blah, blah. And then the man ended up dying at his birthday party and never promoted Miranda. And I was like, I knew that was happening. I felt it coming because the movie was getting too good towards like 30 to 45 minutes in. And just me knowing that movies have to go up and down, I'm like, where's the down? Where's the thing that's going to pull them back in where they have to come back up? And that was it. The owner of the company ended up dying, and they ended up having to find another way. Now, my take is that it started to show when the original owner died and the son wanted to come in and overtake the company. He was younger. He wanted to go digital. He didn't really care about fashion and tangible human-to-human connection in the fashion industry, in the fashion world, and writing, all that stuff. It was a company. It's my dad's company. Hey, let me find a way to make some money, keep it moving, and build my own thing. And that was going to affect Miranda, of course, because she's been in the industry since it was tangible. And it just goes to show that, which is I'm connecting it back to how this relates to reality, is AI and computers and taking over and making the connection less human. Is that Miranda quickly had to find a way, like, I can't compete with the younger generation, right? I can't compete with things wanting to not be personable anymore. That's not even a part of my generation. I have to find a way to still have my stamp and continue on in a way that feels authentic to me. And I'm kind of all over the place, but bear with me. So when she found another person to buy the company, she was able to keep the integrity of that. But she had to make those quick moves, like very, very quickly, because the company was about to be sold to someone who didn't really care about the human connection when it comes to fashion, design, art, culture, all those things. And that just brings me back to today in reality, how we are kind of losing that with AI. Like, AI has its benefits, don't get me wrong, because computers has been out for a long time. But AI does make things less human and less personable. A lot of artists have lost their jobs. Disney recently fired a lot of artists and went straight AI because they can just recreate it and cut corners, right? I lost my job, I believe, to AI because the company that I was with wanted to do something different and save money. And AI was a way to automate some things. So it just goes to show with that connection that they were able to take what's happening now and within fashion then and now, that the human connection to AI is a real thing. And it's affecting everybody, of course. Like, big tech has laid off a lot of people. But what I appreciated in the film is how quickly Miranda turned around, and how she also mentioned people don't understand what it takes to have this kind of life and be at this level and the things you have to sacrifice to have it. And I thought that was true, a testament to myself as I'm on this journey to get out of my, I have to work for someone else, corporate. And like, okay, Q, like, how can you find another way to still make money and make your life feel meaningful to you? And still focus on your art and help other people, but it's still feeling like you're making an impact in the world. So, I digress. There was so much to that film. But all in all, I'll say I love that they were able to incorporate what's actually happening today and how human connection to AI and computers, it's a real thing, and it's really trying to kill the momentum of artists, creativity, tangibleness, tangible work, just putting a real human connection on things. Like, a lot of times it's all about profit, and I get it, right? I'm not a company owner. I get it. You know, there's some things that you wish you could automate, but then there's something is just like, one of the guys who were trying to buy the company was like, we don't need models anymore. We could just have AI, like, accept the change, blah, 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 blah. It's just like some things don't always need to be AI. Anywho, I like the film. I like that the film reflected reality today with the cute fashion storyline. It incorporated the fashion industry into it. It kept the integrity of those who care about how to tell stories and how to feel fabric and how to see the models and how to tell the story and how to put things together. I appreciate that. Okay, my foot was going down. Okay. Now, the creative check-in. So I wanted to touch back a little bit on doing something that scares you, and I hope you did that this week. And also about when it comes to creativity and working on yourself, your brand, and it's all in a creative space, doing the hard thing because it's going to give you better results. I had an idea today, and I'm going to own up to it. I had the idea today to come in, do the podcast, and talk about something totally different for the entertainment portion. I already had my creative check-in done because that's what I did last week creatively. But I was just not feeling it this morning. And I was just like, no, but I want to be authentic, but I want to tell the story. I want to be relevant. And I want to make sure that I'm capturing what's actually happening in the entertainment space and pulling it back to creativity, so it's like a symbiotic relationship. Essentially, doing the hard thing that's going to get you to where you need to go. Doing the hard thing, even if it takes a little bit of effort, a little extra maneuvering, just doing the thing that you feel that you gave your all. So when it's finally said and done, you're actually proud that you gave your all instead of cut corners, instead of cutting corners, and instead of taking a shortcut because you just didn't feel like it today. I was all emotional, or not emotional. How can I say this? I was moving on emotion today instead of moving with logic, right? Now, yes, there are days where you do trust yourself and listen to your instincts, but doing the hard thing, and then when it's said and done, you're actually proud that you did the hard thing so you can actually have the results that you want. The results that you want, I'm telling this to myself too, and take this with a creative grain of salt. The results that you want comes from doing the hard thing in anything in life, but we're talking about creatively. When you put in more effort, you get more out. So that's a little check-in we'll do today. I feel like I talked on a long tangent, and me shooting outside is very different. But I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the conversation. I hope I wasn't too rambly when it came to Devil Wears Prada. I just really appreciate when I leave a movie feeling good and feeling like I'm still grounded in today, and I wasn't taking on this like random imaginary world journey. Of course, if it's an animation or something like that, that's different. But I like when I'm able to come back to reality and the writers depicted what's actually happening in today's society and put it in the storyline. I appreciated that. I'm going to stop saying but I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed being outside. I hope I'm in frame. It doesn't matter because I already shot this. And yeah, I'll see you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Q, and I'm out. This is For the Creators Podcast.